Good morning, or whatever time you get this. Happy, joy, okay? I was just sitting here thinking, not sitting, I'm walking. I'm walking here. I decided to walk. I have been walking, but I didn't take a video yesterday. And a couple of days before that, I was just walking a little bit, not a lot. For some reason, I got wore out pretty quick. But anyway, it does help when I talk to you guys. So, I'm going to do that. And wintertime's coming, so that means I'm not going to be walking. That means I got to go where it's warm, or I'm going to have to go inside a building. You know, you can do that. A lot of people go to Walmart and walk around the building on the inside. So any big building or mall, a mall would be a good place to go. Anyway, have to keep my momentum going. I don't want to stop, that's for sure. I want to get to 5 miles a day at least. And I know that seems like a little goal, but it's a good enough goal for me. Anyway. It's 51 degrees out here, so winter is definitely on its way. It's chilly. And here I brought a cold bottle of water out with me. I'm gonna have to start wearing gloves. Anyway, so I was thinking about something, but I forget what it was now. Oh, the purpose of my channel, okay? I was thinking about that. You know, when I started this thing, it was really to get my papers out there. And, you know, I did everything by the seat of my pants. And so what it says about my channel, that's the thing I said the very first time. And it is the truth. I wish to spread knowledge, which is light, enlightenment. I wish to spread peace and Christ's love, because we're all loved by Him, even if we don't know it. I want to awaken you guys to the love of Christ and the purpose of your life, our life. Very important. You have a purpose, even if you don't know it. I know some people say, I didn't choose to be here. I didn't choose to be born. They just had sex and here I am. That's paraphrasing, but I think that was my granddaughter's expression or something, you know. I've seen her write things like that, like, you know. That would be pretty sad if we were just I'm not so sure of my word. You know what I'm trying to say. In other words, people come together, have sex, and at just the right moment, if it's the right moment, then you are produced. So you are a product of sexual desire. But God gave us that sexual desire to get us people down here, okay? Multitudes and multitudes of people need to be born in this lifetime. And I'm talking about Earth's lifetime, okay? Not ours. This earthly experience is coming to a close. And hopefully everybody's been born that needs to be born. Because we all chose to come here. And the most valiant spirits were saved for the last. For the battle between good and evil. I mean, it's always been there, but this is a great battle. I don't know if it's... I mean, after reading some of those battles, my God, I can't even imagine that people can be like that. Horrible people. But they were taken over by horrible stuff. I mean, I was reading in the Book of Mormon, and it's in the Book of Mormon, inside the Book of Mormon, you guys, not the whole big thing, but the little book that was written by the historian. He was told when he was 10 years old to observe. Do not preach, but observe. And when you're 24 years old, you go over here where these records are, and he told them where they were and how to get there. And he says, you take certain records out of there, and then you write what you have observed of these people. And so that's what the Book of Mormon is, the one that's inside. He is telling what has been happening and how horrid the people were. And then it gets to the point where You know, there's a big battle, always a battle between the Nephites and the Lamanites, but they're both just as bloodthirsty and vicious and horrible because Satan has taken over. And you don't think that's happening in our world right now? My God, I wish we could just stop, you know, and love each other. Forget this bullshit. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing, except for ending the lives of people, except for ruining the lives of people, because those who are left after it's all done are maimed, and they've got such horrible experiences clouding their brain that what the heck? No one can be happy. And Satan's the one that's happy. He is happy when we are miserable. And he's doing a good job. And yes, I say he, but you know, I try to tell you people, think about it. All the people who have ever lived on this earth, and I'm going to say in the last 6,000 years, okay? You can have your little mindset on millions, I don't care. But just for this equation, 6,000 years, how many generations of children have been born? Okay, all the people that will ever live on this earth, from the beginning till now, is 2/3 of the host of heaven. Now you take that and divide it in half, that'll give you what 1/3 is, okay? So then 1/3 of the host of heaven went with Satan. None of them ever got a body. They are spirits, and they will never have a body that I know of. You never know what'll happen in the end. Maybe they'll get to start over and not have that horribleness. Because they say that the spirit, our spirit, we are eternal as far as it's going to live forever. Just don't know what it'll be doing forever or where it's going to go forever. So anyway, I sure got on a rant about something like that. I don't remember what started that. I was trying to say, the purpose of my channel is to spread enlightenment, which is to let you know who you are, where you came from, what you're doing here, what is the purpose of your life, okay? You need to gain as much knowledge and experience as you can. And you need to have it in the light instead of the dark. Now, being in the dark, that gives you something to compare to. So there is a place for that. But I'm not advocating. I'm not trying to tell you to go out into the darkness, because that's where you don't want to go. And I do think that everybody gets their share of darkness because we're all lost. So find yourself. Let me show you who you are. Take a treasure hunt through the Book of Mormon. Once upon a time, I used to take Book of Mormons, and there was something called a treasure hunt. I'm not sure. I think I might have called it that, but it might have been somebody else that called it that. Because there was a path of scriptures that you could go to. And so what I did was I started in the beginning of the book and underlined a scripture or circled the number on the scripture, and then at the bottom of the page I said, go to such and such page. And when you went to that page, there was something else marked for you to read. And it wasn't big, you know, but it could be if you wanted it to be. In other words, you could ponder and look at more than just one verse or two. You know, you read the whole chapter, and then you think, oh my God, okay, maybe I'll read the chapter before that one. Because that's what I do. You know, you get a little piece of it, and then you want to know more. But anyway, so I did that all the way through the book, okay? Go to such and such page with an arrow going sideways, and then they'd go to that, and you'd find more scriptures all the way through the book. But I did call it a treasure hunt. And it is to find the treasure. This book is to help you find out what's real, what's true, and to bring the Spirit into your life, and to let you see what can happen when things are really bad and when things are really good. Because there were times in the Book of Mormon where they lived the law of consecration. I can't remember what else they call it, but it's where everybody has everything in common. There's no rich, there's no poor. We all do a job that we're good at and that we like and that's productive, and then all that we do goes into the storehouse. And then everybody goes to the storehouse to get what they need. Doesn't matter. You don't have to pay. Your payment is to work hard at what you do best and give it to the Lord. But everybody gets what they need. Instead of having these rich people thinking they're all that, and they stand over us, and they have the money to make things happen. So we kind of live under their rule, whether we like it or not. We're supposed to be free. We are supposed to be free. Have free agency to choose what we will do. You know, the lessons we'll learn. But you know, good begets good. Bad begets bad. Evil begets evil. And when you're in a fight with somebody, if somebody doesn't stop, like Jesus said, turn the other cheek. If somebody does not stop it, then you're in a big old whirlwind of evilness. It just gets worse and worse and worse. You got to outdo the other one. So there you are, in a big old brawl about nothing. You don't even know what it began with. Kind of like me and my talking. I forget where I began. But it is all about letting you guys know who you are and trying to spread the light, not just knowledge, but choose the right. Choose the light. When given a choice of what you are doing, you know, think about it and make the right decision. Am I wanting to go over here where it's all dark and dreary and no one loves me and all they're after is sex or good times, or they think they're good times? Because you'll find out if you ever get to the light that there's good times in the light. There's beautiful, sweet times in the light. And giving of yourself to others, helping others, will bring you joy, will bring you happiness. And that is the number one thing. Okay, the golden rule: give to others and treat others like you want to be treated. You know, think about that. Treat others like you want to be treated. You know, you don't go overboard. But I'm just saying, you can be helpful. You can be happy. You can share of yourself with others. And that brings happiness to both. It is true. Smiles are catchy. And that's a very small way to spread the love, okay? I love it when I light someone's face up. When they're dark and dreary and all of a sudden they get a smile on their face because I smiled at them. Yeah, that's nice. And then I've had a couple of really great interludes. Is that what you would call it? I think you would. Anyway, I met a little 2-year-old. That was the most special spirit. And we had a great little interlude. I taught him, or I tried to teach him how to do the peace sign. He was a 2-year-old, and he was a special needs. They said something about autistic, but I could not tell anything but love in that child. He was just beautiful and wonderful, just a little thing, but open, sweet. Now his grandma wasn't necessarily so sweet. She had her reasons for doing what she did, but not sweet. She was trying to get him to come back over there from being with me. And she knows he does not want her touching his stuffed animals. Because I imagine she's done this before. He doesn't want her kissing it. And she grabbed one of those little stuffed animals, called his name, and grabbed his stuffed animal and kissed it. because she knew it was going to rile him up, okay? And then he just ignored her and was with me. And then she smacked that thing around. She smacked his beloved toy, smacked it around. I said, don't do that. He went over there and socked her right in the chest and took his stuffed animals away from her. And then he brought them back over to me. Now, we were more than 2 aisles apart, okay? It was an open space because the entryway to the office came through there, so there had to be room for people to pass through. So it wasn't just right across, it was across. But anyway, he came over to me, stood right in front of me, and gave me his stuffed animals one by one. There's only 2 of them. But he trusted me, the stranger, with his beloved toys. And earlier in that interlude, he had come over and climbed up in the chair next to me, and he had 3 quarters in his hands, his little teeny hands. And so he put his quarters down on the chair. It's a smooth chair. And then he took one of them and passed it over to me, which was so sweet. So very sweet. I see you. There's dogs up there on the roof, but I don't think you could see them if I showed you. They have a door to get up and down, and then they talk to people. Okay, and there's people in the yard, so that's who they're barking about. Anyway, when I come walking down this way, they'll usually talk to me if they're up there. And yes, I got distracted. But so anyway, that's pretty much that interlude. And I did give the grandma and the ma, because they were both there, I gave them my YouTube channel. Don't know if they've gotten on there yet or not, because that day I gave my YouTube channel to the whole office. I gave it to the girl that was registering Dad for his next appointment, and she said she would share with everybody in the office. And I believe by the next day I had 4 more subscribers, so that was cool. Very cool. And I'm up to 99 subscribers, I think. I was at 98, and then I saw it turn to 99 this morning. So that's really thrilling. I think 100 subscribers is going to be a great thing. And then, of course, growing exponentially, is that the word? You know, if everybody would share, check out my stuff, really. And then please share it. You might find that there's a certain person you want to share a certain video with, you know? And all my videos are not the same. You will find out lots of things. Some about me. Might not be a good thing. But you know, we're all human, and we're all here to learn. And I've definitely made my share of mistakes. Places I'm not going again, but it's a little old in life to be going there. But I was there. Boy, I was really there. But I did good along with that, though. I mean, I met a lot of people I would have never met. And I shared my papers with all those people. And the ones that I didn't have my papers on, still the conversation came up, you know, that I was telling them stuff they would not hear somewhere else. So, I know some people think, you know, you're all full of yourself, but I am full, and I'm trying to share it. And you'll find it's pretty good. Don't care who you are. You could be down in the gutter. In fact, that's probably who I want to talk to. I want to talk to those who are struggling, going through life, and they're just miserable, and they've given up hope on everything. Even that person in the gutter is worth worlds, many worlds, because we all have a chance until we die to change our evil ways or to find the light and come into the fold, become baptized into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and learn what your life is all about and partake of Jesus Christ's Spirit. Just come to church. Just come to church. Even if you don't have someone to invite you, I'm inviting you. There are wards. We call them wards because they're a little geographical area. There are segments all over the place. So it doesn't matter where you are. you belong to a ward. So you need to look it up and find out, what ward would I be in at this address? And then you need to contact those people. But you don't even have to get that literal. First of all, you can go online to lds.org. And I bet you there's a place on there where you can say you'd like to meet the missionaries or something. I haven't gone and explored it, but that would be an important thing. So there is a way for you to contact the missionaries, and they will help you find out what's going on. And all they're really trying to do is help everybody. I mean, if you knew what a missionary goes through, oh my. Especially ones that go into foreign languages, you have to learn a foreign language. Sometimes you have to rely on the Spirit, because no matter how much you endeavor, I imagine that's hard. I can't imagine me speaking another language. English is hard enough. And that is the one I understand. And English was kind of, if you would... No, I never went to college for that. But I did take secretarial science in a trade school. But I will just say that I have always loved English. And I think it's because I want to write. I didn't know I wanted to write when I was young, but I'm a writer. And yes, I'm a storyteller, because telling a story helps a person understand what you're trying to say. You can't always say it in words. You have to give examples. Talk in parables. Some will understand and some will not. That's what Jesus did, okay? And a lot of that was, some things were sacred and they go to the believers. They don't just go out to the world nilly. I'm not saying that right. Willy-nilly, that's what it is. In other words, the sacred things of God are given to those who believe in God, okay? If you don't believe in God, do you think he's going to give you any sacred stuff? No, he's not, because all you're going to do is spit on it. That scripture that says, don't cast your pearls before swine. That's what it means. There is wonderful things waiting for you in this church. And it'd be best if you got right after it. Right after it now. Don't wait. Because this world is going to end soon. I mean, soon is relative. Soon could be a long time from now. But I don't think so. One of the prophecies in the last days is that every nation will be fighting over Israel. And what's going on right now is the start. It's been going on for years, though. But the great battle of Armageddon, well, guess what? Armageddon might be the name of the battle, but it is also the place. It is a geographical place where many wars have happened. And the great and final war will be there. But everybody's going to be involved. So you need to hold on to the light. You need to hold on to that iron rod I've talked about, okay? In Lehi's dream of the tree of life. That's in 1 Nephi chapter 8. It tells his dream. Where there is a straight and narrow path. There is a rod of iron going by that straight and narrow path. I mean, going in the same way, same direction. Would that be vertical, whatever? Okay, that iron rod is the word of God, okay? And we have a song that says, hold to the rod, the iron rod. It will safely guide you through, okay? Through the darkness. Okay, so in this same dream, Lehi sees this big, huge, tall, spacious building full of people. I mean, it's full of people, and they're all around the balconies, and they're laughing and mocking the people that are walking on the straight and narrow path. The ones who are holding on to the iron rod. But see, they're over there lost in their lasciviousness. I'm going to start using that word. Anyway, unrestrained sexual behavior is what that is, okay? Nevertheless, they're all lost in their darkness, and they're making fun of the people who are in the light. Okay, now, at the end of that path and that iron rod, there's this beautiful tree. And I imagine it's huge. And it is covered with fruit, which is the most delicious thing you will ever taste. It's the gospel. That's what I'm trying to share. It's Zion. People of one heart and one mind. Peace reigns. Peace prevails. And love. Maybe love reigns and peace prevails. But that's my words, guys, okay? Nevertheless, that is the truth. The city of Zion. No rich, no poor. Everybody's just alike. Hi.
What was the YouTube channel again?
Yes, it's Lose Touch. Let me show you. I'm sorry. Leave it down there, because I'll talk for a minute.
No, I don't want that side to be on the concrete.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, let's put it on there.
I was telling my girlfriend about it, and then after I finished everything, the name went away. I was like, oh.
All right, my name is Lou.
Lou, O.
L-O-U. And then apostrophe S. You have to have L-O-U apostrophe S. And then the next word, space, touch. Lose touch.
No one?
You see me, don't you? Subscribe, okay? I really appreciate it. Tell everybody about me once you see what I'm doing. And that is what I'm doing when I'm walking up and down the street and I'm talking to this thing. It's going on there. Okay? I know I look crazy because I'll be going up and down the street. I'm talking away to this thing. I gave him my YouTube channel the other day, but I imagine you heard what he said. He was telling her all about it, and then he forgot the name, so we just put it in his phone. That's the thing to do. Put it in the phone right now, because people will forget. And then if you subscribe and you hit that bell, every time I put something out, you will get a message that I did, a notification. And I'm sorry, sometimes I put out a whole bunch. Like this morning, I was looking at one of my long videos, so I was looking at it, and then I was able to take some pieces out of it and put on here as shorts. So I put out 7 shorts this morning, and those are geared to get someone to listen to that little teeny space, and if they like it, then they will, there's a picture at the bottom right-hand side, and then you just touch that and it brings up the original long video. So, I mean, it has double purpose, gets attention, hopefully draws you to my channel. Then if you want to see the whole article, then you punch that little picture at the bottom right-hand side, and it'll take you to the original. But then, I haven't been on someone else's phone trying to get to my channel and see what it does, but I've got 226 videos, I think, this morning. Those 7. All those shorts that I've done have added to the amount of videos. But I'm trying to get people to come to the original. But, sometimes my original is 10 minutes, sometimes it's 20, and sometimes it's 30. And the other day I did one that was an hour and a half plus 2 minutes. So I think they'll only let me do an hour and a half because it seems like they cut off 2 minutes. But anyway, that's pretty good. And then I cannot get those videos personally to anybody that's over a minute and a half. But on YouTube, you can copy a link. You just say you want to share it, and it'll pop up and it'll have this thing called copy link. And then you touch that, and then you can share it with anybody. Even if they can only get a minute and a half video, they can get an hour and a half video, okay? So I don't know if you guys understand that. I didn't understand it. There's a lot I need to learn, but I have learned how to do those shorts. Now I just need people to know. Bottom right-hand corner, you'll see a little picture of me. Touch that, and it'll actually take you to a page that shows you all the shorts I've done for the original, and the original will be up in the top left corner. So you can touch that, and then you get to listen for ever long. And I cover a lot of subjects, okay? I go from one thought to another thought to another thought. And if you watch many of my videos, you'll understand that. And you never know what I'm going to say. Because I never know what I'm going to say either. was tripping. I'd be tripping on my brain and trying to share with you guys. This morning I sang no, I didn't sing it this morning. One of my shorts that I did this morning was a primary song from my youth when I was way young, called Give Said the Little Stream. That's a great song. It's a great song for the little kids, and it's really a great moral for all of us. Give said the little stream, give, oh give. I have to sing it. Let's see. Give said the little stream, give, oh give, oh give, give said the little stream. I said scurried on its way, but it might be hurried on its way. I'm small, I know, but wherever I go, the fields grow greener still. Singing, singing all the day, give away, oh give away. Singing, singing all the day, give, oh give away. And there was one I was singing this morning. I'm going to do one. I think Dad's got one of those primary children's hymn books. So I'm going to snatch that and get those words in my head so I can sing them. But one came out of my mouth this morning I wasn't expecting. I wasn't thinking either. I mean, it just came out. And I'm going to do that. I'll probably do it on its own. Pretty important. Or maybe I'll put it on here and do it on its own. I'm going to get past this person. I'm blaring all the way down the street, but I kind of like to not be, I don't know. It's nice when you don't realize you have an audience, then you can be free. Let's see. I'm just going to start it. I do not know the words, but maybe they'll come out. The Golden Plates. And this is a primary song too. The golden plates lay hidden deep in a mountainside until God found one faithful in whom he could confide. A record made by Nephi, a godly man of old. And then I don't remember the rest. But I don't even know if that'd be in the modern day hymn book. Surely it is. I got chill bumps, and it's not from being in the cold. I get chill bumps when I'm sharing the word. And something so lovely as a primary children's song. It'll come out again. But see, that is what I've been talking about all this time. It's those golden plates that were hid up in the mountain until it was time, which is around the last 200 years of the life of this earth. It was promised, and I read it the other day. I believe in the Bible. It was promised that the gospel will be... It was promised that the gospel will be brought back in the end. Okay? And that is what the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is. And those golden plates is what the Book of Mormon was translated from. I don't know if I said my words quite right, but the golden plates were translated by Joseph Smith. And he had a scribe that was writing everything down. But that Book of Mormon is those golden plates. And that's what I'm trying to teach. I'm trying to fulfill. I mean, I've done it all my life, so it's not like I'm trying to fulfill, but my patriarchal blessing told me right there in print, I just read it the other day, that I will have the same spirit upon me as was upon Joseph Smith when he translated the plates. Now, you had to have a high, dense dose of the Spirit for that, Different levels, like I've said before, It all depends on what you put into it and how much you get, how deep you get, your connection with the Lord. That's where your power is coming from. I mean, well, where it will come from. Not sure where you guys have your power from now. Because, you know, Satan has power out here too. Just remember, he is not king. He is not all. Jesus is all. Jesus is our Lord and Savior. And if you stay to the light and get in touch with him, he'll protect you. He'll guide you. You'll know what's true and what isn't. And maybe you'll light up like me, because I light up. The light comes shining out of my face and out of my eyes. I've seen it. Anyway, in little ways, God has let me know. And then I had a blessing not long ago, last year. So I was trying to figure out what to do about my treatment, cancer, breast cancer. I knew what they wanted me to do, meaning the medical field. They wanted me to get on it right now. And I just couldn't do it. But I did ask for a special blessing. And it was a very special blessing. And it was a very long blessing. And sometimes he wasn't talking. Sometimes he was listening to the Lord, listening to the Spirit. And like I said before, because I did talk about it somewhere else, he was finding out a whole lot about me, because God was letting him know. Okay? My patriarchal blessing also told me, you'll see I switched back and forth, doggone it. Okay, I need to get back to, I started with patriarchal blessing. But the point is, that blessing that stake president gave me told me that I could be whole. Or not could. He says, you will be whole. He says, I'm not talking physical, because he already knew that I'd lost my breast, so that's not whole. But he was talking about my spiritual. He said, you are going to come to the realization of exactly who you are. Pretty special, pretty important. Those are my words, those two. But he's right. I have come to the realization of exactly who I am. And I got to get about my business. I got to get about my Father's business, Jesus' business, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't finish that. So in the patriarchal blessing, it said that I would have the same spirit as Joseph Smith did upon me when I teach the Book of Mormon, okay? So that's what I'm doing. I've waited a long time. I mean, I've been teaching it all my life, okay? But I feel like this I can get out to the world. If you guys will help me, listen to what I got. If you find something you like, please share it with somebody. Get as many people as you can to my channel. And I am not doing it for money. I am doing it to spread the word that I've heard, and the word that after you hear me, you have heard. But also, not just the word that I've heard. You know, I always try to share the good word in anything, something good that'll help you in your life. I wasn't talking religion then, but you know, the best thing I can do is try to share with you who you are, what your purpose in life is. You have to find your own purpose, you know, but getting the tools, getting the knowledge of who you are, and then you've got God on your side. If you bring him in, and if you have faith and you use it, the sky's the limit. And that could be true. The sky, you know, heaven. I'm happy. That's all I can say is I'm happy. No matter what. I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And this is a great way to do it. So, yes, I know. I'm walking here. It's 39 minutes so far. And I just need to keep going. And it's nice and cool this morning, so it's easier to walk in the cool. So I'm excited. There's other things. I need to do separate videos on my cancer. I do. Those of you who have cancer, who feel bleak, there's no hope. Well, there is hope, okay? And even if you die, there's hope. But I do think that some things out there are killing us, not necessarily helping us. That was another thing he did tell me in my blessing. And I'm talking about my stake president. I asked for that blessing. And I told him my concerns. And my concerns, you know, I just don't want, I don't trust chemotherapy. I don't want to do chemotherapy. I want to know what to do. So that was my blessing. What I wanted was to find out what I need to do. You know, I need help. So, one of the things he did say in that blessing was that those treatments at the hospital, sometimes, and I bet you more than sometimes, but he said sometimes, backfire on you. So, it is good to be careful what you're doing. Now, if you got cancer eating you up alive and it's all over the place, yeah, you need chemotherapy. But there's a better way to do that. There's a thing called low-dose chemotherapy. And that's what I would have agreed to if I needed to. But the problem with that is you can't get that. You cannot get that and have it covered by insurance. But if you have the money and you have cancer, you need to go and find out where Life Works, LIFEWORKS. There's one up by Seattle, somewhere Tacoma, Seattle area. And then I think there's one down in Eugene, I'm not sure. And then I think there's one in Florida. But if you look it up online, it'll pop up and tell you where they are. And then, you know, that's, if I'm right, then that's 3 in the U.S. But there are different ways of healing cancer in other countries because they're not trying to kill us. They're trying to help us. I really feel that there are those who have put things in place to screw us up. Autism. I want you guys to think about this. And I'll probably get in trouble for this too. But you know, I heard they do not even test those stupid vaccines. And here, how many vaccines are they giving your children before they ever leave the hospital? You spit them out, which we know we don't spit them out, it takes a while. But then they're giving them shots immediately. No, they don't need to be doing that. And especially if they're not tested. And where do you think, you know, how many drugs are they putting in you that are cross, you know, dealing with each other? I heard something about 13 shots before they ever left the hospital. And then you go back, 2 weeks or 6 weeks later and get some more. No, they're giving our children autism. They're giving us all, you know, as we grow up. This is what I had heard anyway. Those vaccines we got when we were young, yeah, they're expecting you to have certain diseases at certain times of life. They are expecting it. And when I turned 65 and had my pre-op appointment, because I had to wait until I was 65, for my surgery for my eyes, so I was blind for quite a while. It seemed like forever, and I really don't know exactly how long it was, but it was at least 6 months, if not more. So I got a good taste of being blind. Not cool. And also how other people treat you when you're blind. What the hell? I'm losing my battery and I'm out here on the street, so I guess I'll have to end soon. I'll just let it close for me. Yes, my nose is starting to run. So where was I at? Doesn't matter, I guess. Only takes a second to get distracted. A record made by Nephi, a godly man of old, and in the Book of Mormon, the story is retold. There it came, the end of the song, at the end of the video. Anyway, I know I keep talking, I'm a talker. I'll talk until it shuts off, and then I'll go post it. So I know I haven't posted any walking in the past couple days. And sometimes I get a little carried away with the things I say, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should watch what I say. But see, I don't want to. That's the deal. I want to be open and honest. And it's kind of hard to do that when people are so judgmental. You know, I love the Lord. I love his gospel. But there's problems in this world today that they're lost. They forget, oh, I'm doing good. I'm doing what God wants me to do. But yet then they turn around and they judge their brother. And they be mean to their brother. That is not what you're supposed to do. You know? We just need to love everybody and help lift people up. You go being mean to them, what do you think that's doing? That's shoving them away. They ain't gonna want to be around you. You know? So, like I've said before, love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor as yourself. And then all the other crap will go away. We won't be mean. You know? Like I said, meanness begets meanness. Hatefulness begets hatefulness. And the mood, talk about a mood, ambiance. You can be happy one minute and someone has done and smacked you around with their words, and there you are, lost in your dreariness. So, you know, people don't do that. Try to think about what you say, and especially to your little ones, because they believe every word you say. You tell them they're no good, then they're no good. So why should they try? You know, that was just one little expression. I'm sure that our little ones get bombarded with all kinds of bad things. And if they believed everything you said, oh my God, they don't have any hope for the future. So you think about that. You could be the cause of what's wrong with your child. Oh my God, I wonder what's wrong with my kid. Oh, they need medicine. Oh, people, love your little ones. Love yourself, love your neighbor. Spread the love, okay? That's what you need to do. And maybe I should stop. I don't want to stop. Let me see, I'm gonna keep walking and we'll see if something else comes out of my head. I will come to the realization of exactly who I am. And I started to say that earlier, the most valiant spirits were saved for this time, because we have a battle to fight. And that is one of the things my patriarchal blessing said that I had had many callings in the previous life, and that I magnified them well. And it said when it came time for me to come to this earth, it was announced. And then those in authority came and put blessings on my head for this life. And one of them is that I will teach the Book of Mormon, okay? So you guys listen up. Here's your teacher. No, I'm not as good as a lot, but I have a different perspective on things, I think. I think that I can reach you guys where some other people can't, because they are just a little lost, you know. But the whole thing is, try to perfect yourself and quit worrying about the bad things in other people. You try to lift them up, you know, but don't be looking for bad, because you're going to find it. If you look for the good, you're going to find that too. So that's a wonderful thing. Look for the good in people. Did you ever see that movie called Pollyanna? The names are not there in my head. Haley Mills and Pollyanna. If you've never seen that, you need to. She came to a town. She was a little orphan girl because her dad died, but her dad was a preacher. So she's got all her dad's thoughts in her head. And she came to this town of uppity people going through all kinds of stuff. And who is her aunt? Her aunt is the queen bee of the town, the rich person that owns everything, who's got this, I mean, you see her attitude. And the whole town hates her because she's so full of herself and so rude, basically. I mean, you'd have to watch it. But this little girl comes to live with her, okay? That's her aunt. And this little girl came from poverty. And then this woman has got, you know, the biggest place around and all kinds of beautiful things and all these servants. And anyway, Pollyanna stirs up the pot. And she goes around spreading her love, her dad's love, the love that she's always known. And she turns that town upside down. Like I said about the smile a while, give your face a rest. And if you listen to the whole song, you know, you turn that frown around and you've got a smile. So she turned that town around from a frown to a smile and from hatred to love. It was just wonderful. And then in the end, she gets hurt. And the whole town is there to see her off. And her aunt has also finally turned also. So this hateful town has turned into a beautiful, wonderful town. And it's all about this little girl, what she could do. So, I mean, we can all do that. We can all share the love. Sharon Winters is her name. Okay. She sells Tupperware. The neighbor across the street over one. The one that has the witch and the other things, the trees that are haunted and stuff. Anyway, she says, come and sell it. Not Avon, excuse me. Come and sell Tupperware with me. No. I said, I'm selling God. Because it's true. I've sold so many things in my life. I don't want to sell nothing else. But this was a definite worthy cause. Selling God. Love God. He is not as bad as you think. He is not making people hurt. You have to lean on him and pull on him. You know, pray. Have a connection. He's still blessing people. I mean, people are being blessed and they don't even know it. Myself, I can see my blessings. But, you know, try to take the bad in your life and turn it into good. Try to figure out a way that it's not so bad. And I think when I get to the house, I'll stop. Because I'm sweating to death. And I need to go take my Theraflu. I'm not quite out of the woods yet. I mean, I'm feeling 100% better, so if I still have this congestion in my lungs, some stuff that wants to come out, that needs to come out. But other than that, I'm on top of the world. I hope I stay there. I don't want to get sick and die. You know, I've been out in the country for a long time. And in the country, you're not around people. And people and schools, the public is what's spreading the disease around, okay? So I haven't been sick for years, except for one time. And it was from being on a plane coming here and going back. You know, you're on the plane, you're sharing the same air as everybody. So you got people coughing, babies that are sick, this and that. But I have not been really truly sick in forever. I'm grateful for that. Okay, I'm fixing to walk into the garage door, so I think I'll just say goodbye. I love you guys. I will try to get back to my scriptures here before long. I know I need to get back to 3rd Nephi, and I need to finish Revelations. So I have goals. Anyway, love you all. Please share my stuff, okay? Subscribe, hit that bell, and share. Do your part in spreading the word that I'm telling you, and you've now heard. Take care.